There we go. All right, let me just double check my volume is working, and we're good to go. All right. Hey, everybody. Hope you guys are all having a great day. Loki says hello. He just got a toy, and he's mawing on it right now. Oh, his ring. He's not going to let me have it. That's okay. But anyway, good news for Bitcoin today. Oh, as soon as it's basically every time I go for it, he pulls back. Every time I don't, he comes back over to try to tempt me. Anyway, Bitcoin managed to break out yesterday. I know I put out a video about it, and so far it's working out fine. The breakout's continuing, and now we're heading up to some harder levels of resistance. This is going to be a crucial time for Bitcoin, so I thought I'd take some time to go live for a few hours. This is definitely going to be a longer stream here, and we're just going to chill, watch a lot of the Bitcoin price action. I'm going to buy some stuff here pretty soon as far as altcoins are concerned. I'm going to see how I like that. And then going on, I will be focusing on just some other charts besides Bitcoin, like the Ethereum, BNBs, Dogecoins, whatever. ADA is popping up around 6% today. Stuff like that, all right? So before I get rolling here, let me just make sure this is all good to go. And let's go over here to maybe the 4-hour chart. Okay, so unfortunately, I wasn't able to go live last night. I really wanted to. But, long story short, remember how I told you guys I don't really have many friends in the state of Washington? And, I have, maybe one. Right? I have a lot of acquaintances, but I really have one friend. Well, that one friend ended up in jail. So I went to go say hi to him. And I didn't know how long it was going to take. It was a process. I've never been to a jail before, so I had no idea what the process was. It was a trip, let me just say that. However, I went, it was fine. And so far, he's doing good. But yeah, not something I thought I'd be doing on a Wednesday. Anyway, now that Bitcoin's broken out, we can see we had a pretty decent move here going on from last night, or yesterday into today. We're hitting a little bit of a rough patch, but honestly, it's just kind of like another consolidation pattern before we start moving up, probably over the next 15 to 30 minutes. So that breakout's still there. Momentum is still on its side. If you guys go over here to the 15, you will see a few consolidation points. All of them were good opportunities to buy. All of them, which was interesting. And right now, we're just kind of grinding along here, waiting to make another move up. At this point, you might see it have another large pop, but you are seeing a little bit of a wall up here towards 45,600 or so. Seems to be where things are having some issues. Now, one thing I need to fix here somehow, and I'm not entirely sure how to do this, is let me refresh my YouTube page. There we go. Okay. Sorry, guys. I don't know what was going on. YouTube kind of glitched out for a second, and none of the chats were there, but I was like, okay, I've been live for a few seconds. There should be something there. But hey, Will Wankett, happy to see you back. Hey, Kumar, Sin, Carl, Robert, and Erop. Make sure I'm getting that right. Hope you guys are all doing good. Yeah, no worries, guys. I've been waiting to do this stream for a while. Normally, I was going to do a couple hours of streaming later on tonight, but I was like, Bitcoin's on the move. Why not, see what's going on here? One thing I need to do, though, is I need to get comfortable. I was too busy making tea, so I wasn't able to, I pretty much just, hopped back down in my seat and just went live. Because I got some nice orange spice tea right here. Oh, it smells so good. It actually has quite a bit of spice to it, but it's really good. And since I've been talking so much, I figured, well, why not? Why not? Okay, so right now you see Bitcoin making this a little bit of a larger move. Things are looking good. Now it looks like we may have another opportunity for a golden cross here on the daily, which will be pretty fun to see. Weekly charts are still kind of mixed or getting bearish. I'm still kind of waiting to see if we're able to break above this high. Right now, the high we're trying to break out above is not that. It is right there, around 48,969. Realistically, when people are talking about larger levels of resistance, everybody tries to go to 50,000. I think that's actually quite fair. But just so you know, there is going to be a hard level right there below 50,000, around 48,969, if Bitcoin wants to carry this on for another 2 or 3 days. And I'm just excited to see Bitcoin moving, because over the last few days, as you guys know, it has just been miserable to watch Bitcoin go sideways, range, and every small move, there was no excitement for it at all. Now, here are a few things I want you guys to pay attention to. Bitcoin's fine. It's still consolidating. It hasn't broken out of any, relative new highs and stuff like that. But that's where we go over here. There we go. Ethereum also breaking out, not at the highs, but still kind of grinding its way back up there. You're going to see this happening a lot with a lot of altcoins, even though Bitcoin, I would say, is relatively closer than a lot of altcoins. What I like about Ethereum and a lot of altcoins here, hence the title, is they are pretty darn far off from their highs, and I'm hoping that I can kind of scoop some of them up. So you guys know I've been buying up more and more off of Fairdesk. I'll probably buy another $300 worth of today with altcoins, maybe adding to some positions with you guys and whatnot. But I started buying this stuff in October. I accidentally, or with my dog's help, I accidentally hit this button that says close all positions, and so all positions were closed. Haha. So I restarted doing them. I think back in back in late December or January, and that was before the October kind of rally. So I'm pretty much down on the majority of my positions. This doesn't affect me all from a mental perspective because I am holding these for the long term, as far as like when the cycle hits the all-time highs, when you got altcoin season, stuff like that. I'm fine. But I do think this is a good example of how normally when you do go into dollar cost averaging, you are going to be seeing money go down and down and down, which is why it's nice to kind of average down with small amounts of money, and then you may get lucky in some of them, maybe doing well. I would say right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the whole host of red right there, all all bearish except for that one. Now I'll be buying some more here. I had just bought $200 worth of cryptocurrencies, maybe 250 over the last hour or so. So I will be adding more onto that. And then, of course, the other sponsor of the channel, BYDFi. BYDFi, I think that's how you pronounce it properly. I'm also going to be loading up on some altcoins here. Now, for this one, it's a little bit different. I'm going to try to pick 5 tokens with a 2x leverage, and I'm going to only invest, if I got $400, I might invest $300 just in case it goes down, because we're going to be using 2x leverage here, and I think that should be okay. The one things I was looking over here is, though, they have a bunch of altcoins, and I know it's so hard to see. Let me see if I can actually zoom in here or not. I don't know how good that's going to be. Yeah, you can see a little bit of it. There's a lot. And so I'm thinking of just checking out some, or if you guys find anything in here that you guys like, let me know, and I'll try to find it, and I'll add a 2x leverage position on it. Depending on how we feel about a lot of these altcoins, I may do a $50 position and only do like 5 or 6 $50 positions, or we could go the Fairdesk route and just basically $10 position here, $15 position here, $20 position here, $5 position there with a 2x leverage. I'm not really anchored down in any particular way, as long as I'm buying some up here for some long-term holds. That way I can kind of see how it works out, check out the funding and see how that works out here, and then I'll be happy to kind of hold for quite a bit of time, to be frank. Yeah, probably going to be holding for quite a bit of time here. All right, a few other things I just want you guys to understand. The dollar index is consolidating right now. I am kind of worried about what's going on here because it looks like it does want to continue moving on over the next few weeks. This is going to feel weird because eventually this or Bitcoin is going to break, one or the other. Oil is having a very volatile week, volatile month, I would say, just because of all the wars going on in the Middle East. Keep an eye on oil. It's more of an inflationary data thing for later on when it comes to energy inflation, things like that. That's interesting, but I don't think it's too important to why Bitcoin's breaking out today. A few other big things that are breaking out today. Let me go over here to the 4-hour chart just so you can kind of see a little bit of a pattern that's breaking out. ADA managed to break back above that 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. Anything else really moving up? BNB's moving up quite a bit right now. You are seeing some mixed results with a few tokens not actually going up today, which is pretty interesting. Sand is up a little bit. Sand looks like it wants to push up here towards 46.5 cents. But really, I'm not seeing too much movement from our base coins that we're watching. Let me go over here. I have been buying up some of the tokens that I have on that list, but I wasn't able to buy as many as I wanted to because the price hasn't come down as much. Some altcoins have had their prices come down drastically. I've been more happy with those, but there are altcoins that have kind of been more like the Bitcoin category, let's call it that, where it's come down, but not nearly enough for me to get really excited about buying up more. Let me go over here, not to the portfolio because I don't manage a portfolio on Coinbase or CoinMarketCap, and buy during dumps. So Solana didn't dump as much as I wanted to, although I was able to snag a little bit. ICP didn't dump nearly as much as I wanted to for this one. GRT, it dumped down a little bit. I was fine, but I'm not the most excited person about GRT just because the market cap is already pretty high. The reason I'm buying it is because, well, it's a good project, but it's a cheap price, basically, even though the market cap is pretty high, if you ask me. Not high, but you get what I'm saying when I'm looking for thousands and thousands of percents return. Fetch AI, I've been buying a lot of. You can see right here on the right-hand side, it's been coming down quite a bit. I don't know if I can move this over slightly. There you go. Just so you can see what I'm talking about. ELF, this one came down quite a bit. You can see right there. Ajax came down quite a bit. I've been able to load up on a lot of these lower market cap tokens. Again, lower market cap tokens. ONT, I just bought this today. Not really too excited about it, but I want to see where it goes. RLC, low market cap one. What drop? It's been doing its own little thing over here. And then you got Fallout Network. This one's been coming down quite a bit, so I have been buying up more and more in this. This is harder to find though, so it's not a futures long with a 2x. It's a spot long, because if you go over here, market cap is 70 million. Go over here to markets, right? Binance, HTX. You don't see Fairdesk on here, I don't think. I don't think you see BYDFi as well. Oh, there it is. Oh, it is on there right there. But I might be just for spot. I'll have to keep an eye on this, because if it is on BYDFi, I can buy more of it on there. So let's actually do that very fast. Follow. And again, these are the tiniest of positions. We're not trying to break a bank. I'm not trying to get rich quick type of thing. These are buy a little bit here. If it goes down a little bit next week, or even if it goes up a little bit next week, we'll be buying. But you can see, now I was looking specifically for, what's the exact ticker? PHA. All right. PHA? No, they don't have it here. It's alpha. So that means it's probably when it comes to spot trading. So yeah, I already have it on spot trading. I was really hopeful I could find it on the futures market. That saved me so much time. All right, let's go back over here. If any of you guys have any questions, let me know. Let's keep about stocks or cryptocurrency, because right now Bitcoin's breaking out. We're seeing some nice moves. Nasdaq's already been breaking out. SPY's already been breaking out. Dow Jones is kind of breaking out, trying to break out, on the verge of breaking out. Again, the stock market's probably just a little bit uneasy about the dollar index stuff going on. Bitcoin seems to be shrugging it off pretty reliably here. Let's go over here. And maybe the 15-minute chart. That's basically what Bitcoin's doing right now. Grinding higher and higher and higher. And hey, Mattis, happy to see you back. Let me know if you have any questions. What's right here? The highlight of my day. I appreciate it, guys. And I already knew my remember, okay, for those of you guys that didn't know, I'll just reiterate it here in a very short context amount of time. I wanted to stream last night, but one of my friends, he ended up in jail. So I went to go visit him, and it was my first time in a jail. So I was doing all this like prep work to like figure out how to do this, what do I do here, but yada, right? And his visitation hours from like 7 o'clock at night to 9 o'clock at night. So I was like, oh shit, that's like kind of when I'm streaming, right? And so I went to go say hi to him. I talked with him for maybe an hour before the phones cut off. It's kind of a weird process there. And then afterwards, I was just like, okay, well, this kind of is it's a heavy type of day, right? And so I just went to a lounge and smoked a cigar and drank some Crown and Coke. And I bought a Super Bowl ticket for an event there later on this week. That was the primary reason I went there. Besides, just being in a kind of heavy mood. So today, my throat is a little bit scratchy from just like lots and lots of talking, try to cheer a friend up, right? So what I have right here is tea, which you'll be seeing me sip on this for quite a bit of time, but I will be streaming for quite a bit of time today, because there's only gonna be one stream. I won't be streaming later on tonight, but I will be streaming probably for the next 2 hours from 10 minutes ago, or maybe going into 3-4 hours, depending on how Bitcoin goes. And then we'll also be looking at different opportunities for buying and selling tokens and stuff like that. And hey, Joseph, I got 10K. Mike, what coin will make me more money? I mean, typically, if you just want to put all of your 10K into a token, I just say go with Bitcoin. It's like the simplest way to go. It's nice. You can go with Ethereum if you want a little bit more profit there. If you want to diversify, there's tons of ways to do it. But it really goes, what do you want to buy? What's your risk and all that type of stuff. If you just want something that'll make you money, my answer will always just be buy Bitcoin. It's simple, it's efficient, it does the job you want it to do. You buy, you hold. Everybody talks about it. Everybody's talking about it all the time. I would just say, personally, if I was to choose between a large cap, it would probably be Ethereum or Solana. Solana might be a little bit too volatile for people though, because it has had like a troubled past with different companies owning a lot of it, like Do Kwon and stuff. But typically, Solana, it might even try to go through the ICP way, but typically, if you just want the easy answer, it's going to be Bitcoin. I think it's the first time I catch you live this year before midnight here in the EU. Hey, the Real Transporter. I mean, probably so. Like normally when I go live, it's if I go live in the day, it's usually early morning, which means I'm usually it's usually like around 5:30 to 6 a.m. my time, maybe even 5, and it's for like a very early Fed announcement or some type of announcement coming from the government as far as some data or something like that. And that'd be, I don't know, that might be just be evening time for you. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not good at time zone and stuff like that, but I'm happy to have you before midnight. And hey, I'm happy to see you back, dude. What are you using to trade leverage? Right now, I'm sponsored by 2 exchanges. I like both exchanges. I tell you that I'm sponsored just so you know when I'm talking about this stuff. I vetted them. I like them, stuff like that. But there's always other things out there, so I don't try to force you to go down these exchanges if you don't want to. I like Fairdesk. Right now I'm kind of siding more with BYD5 for day trading. This one's been pretty nice. I don't know why. I like the background color here a little bit more, but typically the fees are pretty similar. If you want more options, BYD5 is probably why I'm leaning that way. If you want more liquidity in the larger caps and stuff like that, Fairdesk is probably a game. So if you're going to be like doing a lot of trading with Ethereum and Bitcoin, Fairdesk is probably something I prefer. But if you're trying to just find out that one random token that you think is going to boom and you just want to buy it or you want to trade with it and you want to become like the mad scientist, BYDFi is definitely the mad scientist vibe. Not like in a dangerous way. Well, no, it is kind of, because you're trading leverage with very high risk tokens, right? But a lot of people are looking for those tokens that can make them rich quick, and they just want to pop in $10 or $20 or $5 even. And typically when you go over here and you kind of see the two, this is what you got. Oh, I know it's hard to see. You got a list like this when it comes to Fairdesk. They've been adding a lot more to the list since I started working with them last year. They're doing good. But BYDFi, it's kind of hard to show. Oh, yeah, I got this over here. It's a lot larger list. The one thing I do wish both of them had was a little market cap spot, but I know that'd be too much data kind of rolling through their systems. That'd be probably a lot of money that they pay for, which is why typically before I find a token on here or a BYDFi or a Fairdesk, I'm usually finding the token on coinmarketcap.com and going through the filter settings, and then I'll look to see if it's on either one of these exchanges. Usually I've noticed it's been more on BYDFi, but I think Fairdesk is also making a good play there. But it really just depends on what you're looking to trade. I would say if you are looking to trade like tens of thousands of dollars, for every trade, Fairdesk is probably the game. If you're looking for small amounts and going for like very boutique tokens, I don't know why I'm calling them boutique, but boutique type tokens, I would say BYDFi is definitely your plan there. Both are really good as far as liquidity and stuff like that, so you don't have to worry about it. But if you try to be a whale with a very small market cap token on BYDFi, you will be a whale. I typically don't do that because it's going to be hard to, like, if you buy a whole bunch of stuff and drop the price, it's going to be hard to sell everything off because there's going to be a lack of buyers there. So the higher the token, like a Bitcoin thing, the liquidity is, it's fine. Fairdesk probably has a little bit better, but they're both fine. You're not going to notice anything. But as you get to those very small market cap tokens, you got to be very careful with those ones because you could drive up the price like crazy, which is again why I say I just like to pop in $5, $20, $30 and just kind of see where it goes. That's why later on today we're going to be going over here and I'm just going to have you guys pick a few tokens that you guys like that are small market cap tokens. Oops, I'm driving too much down here. And then from there, we're going to go see if we're going to add some in there. And it'll just be fun. I like going on a little bit dollar cost average because then we can come back and see how everything's doing. It's going to be bumpy for a while when you buy it, but after a while, everything just turns green and it's very nice. Which is why, again, dollar cost averaging is your best friend when it comes to trading in the market. Nat gas has hit the buying range. If you look at the 25-year chart, we are in the lower range that facilitates a bounce, max 15% lower holding till winter. What do you call it? Nat gas has been interesting because the government has been trying to make some moves there. Let me see if I can pull up an article about it. Okay, that's not what I was looking to do. Oh, okay, sorry. I got ad blocker, you know, and I got an ad when I open up a new link. Get ad block premium, and I was like, okay. News. There it is. This is what I was reading this morning. I was taking Loki out for a walk and I was reading this one. So this is from Routers right here. U.S. nat gas price slide 2%. I didn't see the chart though, but now I know it's low to a fresh 3-year low ahead of the storage report. So let me show you this. There you go. With gas prices now down about 23% since the start of 2024, after collapsing 44% last year, some analysts say gas producers, especially the small producers, will have to cut the number of wells they drill to reduce output. It's not see no yeah, they're gonna have to do that. They are gonna have to do that. Let me see if I can find it right here. It's that. Oh, where's that? Oh, here, okay. Analysts said U.S. LNG feed gas would likely not return to record levels until Freeport LNG was back on full power, which could occur mid to late February. And I think after this happens, you're probably going to have that one more dip, and then I'm going to look to be buying more. It's probably a good opportunity to actually do a first initial buy and get like more heavy as it goes on. But yeah, it's U.S. weekly NASDAQ storage. It's getting a lot of storage here, a lot of storage. So I would say you're in a good spot. I'm kind of hoping for some type of global shock, though, to kind of get the system back up and running. Because I want the prices to go higher and higher and higher, obviously, here. But nat gas is its own thing. It can go, it's very volatile, which is where the opportunity for money comes into it, though. There was another story I was going to look at. No. No, I can't find the story. But that's okay. Yeah, but I'm excited to see where it goes from here. Usually when I see stuff like this, it's just dollar cost average, dollar cost average, dollar cost average. It's looking for an opportunity to go up. It's looking for a reason. Frankly, you know, if we're talking about, you know, energy sources, usually in the winter they get a little bit more expensive, but I don't know about you guys. You know, you could say we've had some colder parts of winter. This has been a very, very, very warm winter by my standards. I think we had snow maybe once. I don't even think the mountains got snow. It's like one of those weird times where you see all these snowboarders and stuff trying to get ready to go to the mountains, and there's nothing for them to snow, just ski or snowboard on. But yeah, nat gas is definitely a good long-term investment, especially because it always comes back up. Always comes back up. Hey, Megan, let's get you here before it gets too late in Sweden. Oh yeah, no worries, Richard. Happy to have you over here. I should be doing a little bit more streams in the middle of the day, just because I know I got a lot of people from Europe. I got people from all over the world watching me sometimes, which is always interesting. But maybe a couple times a week I'll do more midday streams. And I think that would probably work out pretty well. That way, not everybody has to stay up so late in order to watch the video, or wait until the next day until they have to watch the video, right? Let me make a move over here very fast. There we go. All right. Oh, and fun fact, I did learn that I've been talking to more and more people that live in Panama. Panama has great internet speed, so if I do move there in 2025, which is again at the end of this year, or you know, maybe beginning of next year, not entirely sure, I will be able to stream and do all the same stuff down there. So Panama still go for the most part. I think Loki will be excited about that one. All right. What I wanted to do here is just zoom out a little bit. And I wanted to look at the last. There we go. All right. I was looking at this before I went live earlier today, maybe like an hour and a half ago, when I was getting everything set up. And hey, Press, thank you very, very much for the super chat. Thoughts on BitTorrent short and long term 2.5 years? Seems to have one of the highest pops today. I was just going to bring that up. So, yes, perfect. I was going to say I'm not going to pay attention too much to Dime Envision. Can't pronounce that properly because it looks like the chart is a little too off for me right here. I would have to kind of focus more on it as far as on coin trading view, basically. But right below that is BitTorrent. And I've had a troubled past with BitTorrent. I used to buy a lot of BitTorrent. I still own a lot of BitTorrent. However, they kind of lost me as far as how much I was willing to dollar cost average on them because they meddled with the supply of their token, which I really don't like. I just hate when a token does that. The business behind it, I hate. There's no reason to ever do that, in my opinion. So I stopped buying it, and I pretty much just been holding it for a while. Now, today, it's having a pop around 28%. I think it was up even higher just a few minutes ago. I think it was like 35%, something like that. So what I'll do is I'll go over here to BitTorrent. Maybe dollar. See, that doesn't look right as far as I'm concerned. Look at the liquidity on that. It doesn't look right. BT Bitfinex should be fine. No, that's that. The liquidity just feels so bad. There you go. BitGet seems to have a decent one here. Let's go over to the daily chart and you can kind of see what's been going on. It's not the first time. It's happened before. As far, if Bitcoin continues to move up, you'll see that it pretty much just got smacked down by an order block after the breakout here, hit the next order block, and got rejected right after it. Not a bad thing, though. So that order block was basically, let me just do the midpoint here. Turn off the magnet here, and there you go. So the 15-minute chart just went above that midpoint, and then it started coming back down. This is still in a longer form consolidation pattern. It might even continue breaking down over the next few hours before trying to make another rally here, because long story short, we're basically about to start a whole new day candle here. We've been here before. It does lead to a little bit of consolidation before moving up higher. If you're looking for a place to sell your BitTorrent, for whatever reason, maybe you bought some down here, dollar cost averaging, whatever, you're probably looking at that next level of resistance being at about 0.00001457 here, okay? Let me do you a favor, because this is going to be hard enough. See that number right there? Pretty much on the right-hand side of the screen, you can screenshot that. That's kind of the number where you're going to see that extra level of resistance coming up. That is still a crazy amount of profit, though. If you're buying right now, going back up here, that's still 44% profit. It's a good number. Now, I would probably say you want to be buying it during these boring times, and then you want to hold on and see where it goes. Your stop loss is going to be very, very loose. It's not going to be aggressive. It's not going to be too close, because this thing could obviously keep on falling a little bit more before it eventually tries to make that second rally upwards. Now, if you're trying to short this, the first opportunity to short would have been at the order block right here. That's okay. I would say if you want to start shorting in with a dollar cost averaging strategy, we're doing like 2 or 3 different opportunities. I would say you have one right up here by that 12,702 level. You could try to short there, or all the way up here around 14,415. That's another opportunity for me, because Bitcoin is still in this weird consolidation space where Bitcoin itself hasn't broken out above 48,000, whatever that resistance level is right now. I would still focus mostly on this one right here. The stop loss is going to be something where you're going to try to give yourself a 3-to-1 ratio. So if you're going to give yourself a 10% stop loss, on the short, you want to give yourself maybe 30% profit at least, and that's the way I'd be looking at it. If you can't see yourself getting 30% plus profit from a short right now, or a long, the long we showed you can get a 40% profit, but with the short, it's probably going to be best just to kind of hold off, because that 10% will it'll sting, right? But we're not even close there, so there's no real reason to start going heavy on the short. First short worked out pretty well. You may see people even trying to short right here to see if it goes down a little bit more and starts to fully capitulate here. I don't know the reason behind this pump. All I've seen is what, just the move happening over here. But there still seems to be some momentum behind this. So be careful if you want to short this too early. I would wait for those really hard, plainly obvious to see levels of resistance. Because, normally we'd be trying to do some type of Fibonacci level with a low, high, low. But now we're like we could try. But, based on how these moves are working out, it's not, it's not that type of day, right? Right? Yeah, nothing even mattered right there. So what you might do instead is actually go over here to the weekly chart, and you'll see this. And just for you guys that don't know, BitTorrent's been around for quite a bit of time, but they moved up the supply of their tokens. I stopped buying around here. It kept on falling and falling and falling, and now all of a sudden, now we're back over here. So I'm probably now just turning positive after all this crap. However, low point right here, high point right here, maybe a low point right here. If you want to go after this, open up a 4-hour chart. This level right here matches up with this level of resistance, and that's what we're seeing. So again, and actually the next one right there works out pretty well too. So you might be looking at something of the 12,740 or something up here around the 14,276. For me, I'm much more of the guy that says, hey, take the profit if it comes up here. But each one of these should be pretty good levels of resistance here for you to open up some shorts. If you want to short right now, you're not looking for a short that takes you all the way back down here. You're looking for a short that takes you to the next level. That next level is going to be an opportunity. Typically for me though, I'm just like looking at this. You might see 1 or 2 more drops before it really starts to take a rally on. I'd be surprised if it just started zipping up out of here. But, again, when you have a move like that, I mean, for heaven's sakes, look at the 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart. 5-minute drove 7%. 10 minutes, 15%. 15 minutes, 18%. 20 minutes, 23%. And so forth. That's a pretty fast rally. That could really mess with anything else going over here. And again, a lot of these charts do not look the most liquid, and that's just because of how BitTorrent did the whole cabal here. Yeah, but hopefully that helps. You got some pretty solid ones. I do like to see that. I do like to see when the normal resistance levels match up with Fibonacci's. That's like a good sign for me as far as, okay, I can start to short right here. But that stop loss is going to be pretty extreme, and that price target is going to be pretty extreme because you're hoping for those larger swings in order to make some money, which means you don't really have to invest all too much to make a good amount there, which is pretty nice. Hasn't there been a big crash every halving or not? What do you think this time? Again, I'm still expecting a dip, and I am like, the more this goes on, the more wrong I am. But yeah, I'm expecting a drop. Now, it's not a crash necessarily I'm expecting, but like back down to 36, 35,000 at worst, like a 32,000, 30,000. Again, that's like crazy talk right now. But it hasn't been coming to fruition. I've been waiting. I've been watching. I'm going to see how this works out. And, it pains me because when I look at weekly charts, I'm like, okay, the weekly charts to me don't look too great right now. It takes weeks to find out if it really was great, if it really worked or not. At least daily charts, I can be like, okay, this is getting bearish and bearish and bearish. And I'm like, okay, well, we had the bearish move, right? Like when it came to this, right? I was like, okay, well, this doesn't look too good. This is pretty bearish. This is pretty bearish. Let me wait a little bit. And of course, we had that move down, and I was like, okay, good. Now I started buying up a little bit, mostly altcoins, not too much Bitcoin, honestly. But I was able to buy some and feel pretty happy. But what happened? The same thing that happened every other freaking time we have a dip. We come roaring back. And I was thinking that perhaps since the weekly charts weren't as bullish, as we kind of had some more neutral signals where a couple of the oscillators were bearish, one was bullish, that might actually make us just go more sideways here overall. And no, right? After this drop, we came roaring back. Sideways would have been if we just kind of stopped right here, kind of continue going on, and we make, maybe not a new low, but something, going sideways basically. But nope, now we're kind of going sideways, but not the sideways I was talking about. Now we're still at the level we were just a few weeks ago, back over here, January 2nd, But it's nice to see Bitcoin just keeping that momentum on. My fear right now is if we are talking about the halving and what could potentially move us down that road over the next few weeks is perhaps, and I was talking to a couple friends about this, is maybe we just have a little bit of a head and we have another little top right here, and then we start coming back down like this, you know, your typical breakdown, and then we can't keep the momentum on to go higher and we eventually break down here. That's probably the possibility that I see happening. But again, so far, every time we have one of these drastic drops, it hasn't been able to sustain itself. You know, it's been a pain, but yeah, right now I would still expect some type of move to happen. But yeah, it's going to be hard to figure out exactly when it's coming along. But I would expect a move down. I would. Hence, why I'm still trying to load up on altcoins when I really haven't had the best opportunities to do so yet. I've been buying them, but only those altcoins, like I said before, like a like a fetch, right? Had these nice highs, came down like 30% or something like that. I'll take those discounts all day long, and it's below the 20-day moving average. Eventually, it'll pop up and start soaring again. Ajax is something I've been buying up a lot of. This had a really nice move down, and it had multiple opportunities for me to buy, which I was really happy about. Over here, another 30% down. I think I have a little bit of that on Fairdesk here. Yeah, I got about 2,000 of it. It's only worth 27 cents right now, so it's not really worth a lot. It's the position's up 11% with a 3x leverage, so it's really up only like a teeny bit. But yeah. Oh, Loki's running in his sleep. I bought some on January 20th, January 27th, and a little bit more today. So, you know, I'm casually buying it. And so far, you know, it's working out okay. There are a few that I want to buy more, but you got stuff like NMR. This is another AI play. Well, yeah, what opportunity did I have to buy over here? Not really over the past few weeks. So I don't know if I want to buy this or not. And I don't want to like, I don't want to be left out of it, but like I also don't want to pay a high price for it. So I'm making a conscious decision to be like, okay, please, you know, please like come back down for me. But so far it has ignored my pleas. Is there no data? No, Innodata is a stock right here. I remember I've been telling you guys I've been loading up on these AI stocks as long-term opportunities. So far they're doing good. I'm surprised how good these are doing. Soundhound, this one's up 14% today. Not entirely sure what just happened. Was it like an earnings report or something? No, earnings doesn't even come back. Something's just going on with AI right now. These are very low market cap plays, so they're like, it's like buying a crypto token basically and hoping it goes well, but at least they have earnings and stuff like that. Nerdy's up a little bit. Mid Tech is down a little bit today. Overall, still doing pretty well. And Big Bear AI, this is my favorite. I'm hoping it does something good, but so far it's been kind of going more sideways here. After finding a little bit of a pop, somehow I'm still positive, but it's a very small market cap play. There we go. Back over to the 15-minute chart for Bitcoin. It's like Bitcoin's trying to make a move here. It's looking for an opportunity to pop, and it's just hitting a little bit of a wall. Don't know what that wall is, but it's there. And hey, Richard, I can't see the link. Richard, where did you send it? I guess so. That's probably the question. If maybe it's on Twitter or something, I'm not entirely sure. YouTube doesn't like allow links in streams or most of my videos. I don't think. I think because I'm a crypto creator and like there's a whole bunch of these people that say I am poor from this poor country. Here is a link to my wallet if you wish to donate. There's been a lot of that, and I think YouTube took out the links out of my thing. I think, but let me know. But basically, there are some crashes. I would say COVID was kind of a weird thing. Maybe this year, this cycle, we can kind of break that trend, perhaps. And that's only because of the spot Bitcoin ETF news. Like, one of the reasons I've been buying up a lot more Ethereum than Bitcoin right now is primarily because Ethereum, I like it a lot. But Ethereum is going to have its own little boost here based off of the Bitcoin ETF news. And I'm really hyped about that. I have a bunch of BitTorrent before Voyager went down. I haven't checked it since. Voyager is trying to give money back to people. I posted a video about it a few days ago. I'm waiting. I'm patiently waiting. Voyager's trying to do it. BlockFi is trying to do it. I think Celsius is in the process of doing it. There's a whole bunch of weird stuff going on when it comes to all these exchanges that kind of went kablooey in 2022, basically. So hopefully, whatever money you're able to get back, you can just basically, hopefully you write it off as, I guess it happened a couple years ago. You were able to write it off as a tax loss, and now that they give you the money back, you can literally just put it straight into any crypto that you like or any stocks that you like. Anything works here because it's pretty much, you've already been paid back for it by the government. Looks at Voyager. Nope, no BTorrent here. Not anymore. I know, right? What's up, Mike? You think Matic is getting ready to pop? Let me check it out. It is breaking out here. Let me go to the daily chart. So it did break. Oh, what a weird breakout here. So the trend was broken. That's nice. It's trying to break out above the 50-day moving average. I would say it looks like it wants to make a move or a play, you could say, probably up to around 85 cents. Oh, not 85. Oh, 95 cents. My gosh, my eyes are breaking here. You can even say 94 cents where the part of this order block is here. Everything's in the green. Weekly charts are getting there. Oh, whoa, look at those moving averages right there. That's why we're seeing all this volatility. Bouncing off the 20, just having a death cross there. That is weird. But basically, if you look at the weekly chart, I would expect it to come back over here to a little bit above the middle spot. That's kind of around 90. So that 90 to 94 cents, I think that's a good play. Now, let me go back over to the 4-hour chart, though. It just broke out. Everything's green. You're probably going to see this take a small pop up here towards 87 cents and then try to break out above that. But really, it's 96, 95, 94. That's really the zone where you're trying to get to over the next few days. This probably won't happen within 1 day, but 1 to 2 days, I think it's very plausible here. A little bit of resistance right there. A little bit at 85, a little bit at 87, 80, oh, a little bit at 88, excuse me. A little bit at 91. If you don't want to be greedy, 91 seems to be good. If you want to be greedy, 94, 95 is going to be a good one. Probably better just to scale out. But the way this is going right now, it definitely wants to have a large 1 day surge, then probably the following day wants to grind on a little bit. 1 hour chart. See this right here. A little bit lower right there. Does that make any impact? No, not too much. Still on 90, okay. What I will do though, just so I can see, there we go. There we go. Put it fib levels based on log scale. 86, 88, 92. So maybe you can squeeze in an extra penny or something from it if you want to. But towards the time you get towards 95, 96 cents, it's going to be kind of hard to justify wanting to hold on much longer than that unless you've already scaled out a certain amount beforehand. But yeah, it's looking pretty bullish right now. Let it consolidate a little bit more, but it's on the verge here. I think it's just kind of like Bitcoin's consolidating right now, so it's trying to consolidate. But it still looks like it's in a pretty good spot here. Hey, Paris, where do I see it in long term? It's more of a market cap play because I hate talking about the numbers of BitTorrent. I just absolutely, I hate 0.0000 coins. I'll buy them, don't get me wrong, but I just the saying them. Right now it's at a market cap, it looks like around like 900 something million, probably close to $1 billion. I'd probably by the end of the altcoin season probably wanted to make a few 100% return back, close to 1,000 if we really get lucky with it. Mostly because I'm just not entirely sure what's going to happen with it, because of the stuff they did before. I haven't really been keeping track of BitTorrent ever since they made that change where they changed the token supply and all the tokenomics about it. So I've just been like, I just, sold my position, but I don't focus on it too much. I would still expect a pretty decent return on it. However, it doesn't look like it's going to do a Dogecoin where it grinds along and has like one big pop. This thing has these like random pops like crazy. And you have to find an exchange that was you can sell a lot of them on. Like most of mine's in a cold wallet right now because it's been that long. and you have to make sure it's a liquid one. And finding a liquid one that holds BitTorrents is going to be tough for me right now. I'm gonna have to look it up. I haven't even tried to look it up so far, but you know, it could be anywhere from like 500 to 1,000%. It could be really good. I'm not gonna wait for it to hit all those crazy highs. As soon as Bitcoin shows any weakness when it comes to those death crosses on the 20-day and the 50-day moving averages after reaching an all-time high, I'm just gonna be like, I'm out of it 50%. The next few days, I'll be out the next 50% just like that. It won't even be too much of a hassle for me to even, you know, like Dogecoin. I was struggling. Should I sell Dogecoin at 50 cents? I don't know. What do I do? This one, I'm just like, yeah, there's nothing, not there for me to really get excited about. And what's right here? What altcoins am I feeling? Right now, it's been the lower market cap ones that have kind of, they had pops maybe like a month or two ago, and they've been kind of bleeding ever since. I've been looking at those ones for opportunities for everybody to kind of roll back into them. A few that you might look at are things like, do I have them on my personal watch list right here? Yeah, there you go. Stuff like ID token. Oh, that's ICP. ID token. Right? So this already popped, but this is something I've been loading up on here, where it did have a pretty nice run up over the last few months. Died down quite a bit. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but it's a, you know, it's like going down from like 38 cents all the way down to 25. It's a lot. So I've been buying up more of those. And then it kind of popped up. I did not keep track of this, so I did not know this actually popped up today or yesterday. That's interesting to see. Yeah, but I'm loading up on this. A lot more spot token coins, though, I would say, for this one. I might actually have a position on this on Fairdesk. I've been trying to buy like one of each token, just keep track of it, you know. But do I have any ID token here? I don't think I do. Oh, that sucks. I would love to have a 2x leverage position just to kind of see where it's at, because I know they have it. Because I've traded it before in the past. If I go over 24-hour change. Yeah, it's up 6-7% so far today. Doing pretty nice, though. I'm not going to buy it right now after a massive surge here. But yeah, I've been buying that one quite a bit. Big Time is another one here. Big Time, not B9 time. Probably on Bybit. This is one right here. So you see how it had this big run up? Came down quite a bit. Same type of thing. Those are the altcoins I'm personally like vibing with right now. It's not just those two, but any alt token. Normally the ones we look at, like, you know, there's ICP or something like that. Those ones haven't been falling down a little bit. We've been trading these little small breakouts and hoping they end up being something great, but each ICP breakout has been kind of blah so far. GTC, a little bit, but fine. You know, that's fine. That's something you might look at. Gala right here. This is a prime example. Waiting to see what happens next, but Gala is probably one right there. It had a different style of rally, but it did pretty well. Loki's over here resting his head on my shoulder like this, like, hey, I'm over here. But anyway, yeah, those are some of the opportunities. Loom is another opportunity right here. It boomed all the way back in October, has done nothing since except for go down. I'm waiting for some of these. Now, I'm not buying heavy into these. I'm still dollar cost averaging, even if it is with leverage, because I anticipate, you know, that there could still be a situation when Bitcoin goes down and these could take one more drop back down, and I still want to be able to have some powder for that, but I still want to have a decent position in some of these. Just because the volatility enough should be able to make me a good amount of money here. Anything else I can think of over here? STMX is one. This is one of my favorites. I've been buying for quite a bit of time. It had a really nice run up since October. This is September, but you know, it ran up 200%. Then it came down like 50%. You know, things like that. Although this is something I'm holding for the long term. This thing has been kind of weird because this is the daily chart from when it came over in 2020. Had a really nice pop up to 10 cents. Right now we're at 0.006. I think we're easily going to get back up to 10 cents this time and see where it goes from there. But right now, in the scheme of things, I just want to make that trade, that little trade from here to there, here to there. And then if I have an opportunity to buy more on spot, I typically will do that. But there's a different way I trade for spot here. Anything else I can think of here? No, I'm not a fan of XRP right now. I know it broke down, but if this can move in a very positive direction, but not the parabolic direction of the lower market cap ones. But if you're looking for something that has some momentum behind it that can have a 2 to 3 day pop, XRP is going to be a thing. Just wait for it to break above the 20-day. Oh, you can actually see this right here. Wait for it to open up above the 20-day moving average here, and it should just start launching from there. Go over here to the 4-hour chart. You see how this 200 daily, this 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart? That's going to be a huge level of resistance, but I think we're just going to blast through it, honestly. And then from there, it'll go higher. You can even see a smaller breakout happening right now on the 4-hour chart. Take it as you want, but that's also the play if you're looking for something that has a lot of liquidity. You can put a lot of money behind it, so to speak, and you don't have to worry about it, falling off a cliff because it's a smaller token. XRP is pretty established out there, I would say. Yeah, but those are some of the plays right there. For day traders, I always like to go back to comp. This one's always pretty interesting here. So far, it's trying to break out. It's on the verge of a breakout plus 2 moving averages. This thing could sucker punch right back up to $56, $58. And then from there, we'll see. But still, that few dollars of profit, people are going to take that and see how much further it can go. For me, I like it primarily more during altcoin season because it goes parabolic because it's on Robinhood. And Robinhood has a whole bunch of options junkies on it, I would say. And they're always looking for a quick way to make money. And there's only so many crypto tokens on Robinhood. Robinhood has done a very, very, very bad job of putting new tokens on their platform. And that's led to, the stock price not doing fantastic, but just, I have been telling you guys for the longest time, if Robinhood would start adding some lower market cap tokens onto their exchange, I would be on their exchange and I'd be buying up all of them because I know they're going to go crazy during the next altcoin season. They haven't been making any moves. No moves at all. Let's see. I just asked Google, has Robinhood added any new cryptocurrencies? I don't think so. I don't see any new news. It added the spot Bitcoin ETF. Yeah, there's nothing. There's just nothing. Doe. What crypto do they have? Let me see if I can log into. Oh, I don't know my Robinhood password. It's been that long, and I haven't used Robinhood since the GameStop days because of the Vlad guy lying through his lion teeth. But yeah, I've been hoping for some lower market cap tokens over there because that's one of the only reasons I ended up buying Dogecoin, because I was hopeful that, of course, that if a lot of people saw a low market cap token that also had low price, they would drive it up and it would go crazy, and I was right. But there's a large component of luck behind that as well. And here's the link. It's not letting you share the link for whatever reason, Richard. I'm not entirely sure why. I think it's just YouTube doing its thing. Hello. Okay, hold on. The dog wants to say hi. Up. There you go. Yeah. You doing okay? Yeah, I'm get the fur. Yeah. You were just taking a nap, weren't you? You have a bad dream? Yeah. I'm the only one that gets to touch his paws. He's not a big fan of other people touching his paws, which I understand. Yeah. Dogs are not paw lovers or paw sharers too much. There you go. Okay. There you go. All right. Off went the toy. Anyway, where do I think Gala will go? if we do get a drop, do you have any levels you're looking at? Not really. Gala has been kind of one of those things where you just kind of buy it when you can take it. But if you're looking to make a trade-off, it'll get the best price possible. Let me show you something. All right. Right now, it's in a weird spot because it's trying to have a short-term reversal. It doesn't look like it's going to be a long-term reversal, but it's trying. We've already had that death cross. I don't even know if you want to call it a death cross over here, but death cross, imagine a one way back over there. And it's been coming down for a while. Now, if it does want to make that drop, normally when it does, when I do Gala, it's usually going to be one of these simple Fibonacci retracements. And then on top of that, what I'll do is I will add a, let me see if I can find it here. I always lose this one tool. There we go. And it'll be a pitchfork combo. Get out of there. That's the high. That's the recent low. And I'll try to find a place where these two intercede. Now, right now, this has only been going on since here. Oh, it's at the high right there, yeah. Okay, so this will be a little bit more accurate for a 4-hour chart. A little bit of resistance on the top. Now this is a 4-hour chart, so this would probably be happening next week if it did fall. But as far as the timing and stuff, it would probably be coming back down here towards, so not 20 cents, 0.02 or so. Maybe a little bit below that, but honestly, the way this is working out, I think it'd be fine. You see over the last few weeks here, it's been fine to fall down below some of these levels, even if it comes back up. It's the daily chart. Has held all but one day, and I'm guessing that day was the day that Bitcoin broke down, and then of course Bitcoin's been like, woohoo, we're fine, yet you see how it's been going. No, this Bitcoin broke down all the way over here. This has just been Bitcoin's a little bit of a revival, or just more sideways action, I would say. There is some weakness here though. I think Bitcoin's the only thing saving this at this point, but you would see it probably coming back down here towards 0.002 or 0.01957. Pretty much like a half a penny range right there. That's what I'd be hoping for. Maybe this will just turn out to be lower highs, just like Bitcoin may turn out to be lower highs. The chart here though, let me take off the pitchfork. Well, in fact, let me do one thing. Anything different if I do a shift? Like, is it any more accurate or not accurate? A little bit there. There, a little bit more there. No, but that would actually make it a little bit lower around the 0.018 level. That's not what you want to see. Daily. No, I'd stand by the earlier one of the 0.02 and the 0.0 something 9. I forget which one it was. Oh, 0.019, my bad. 195. Now let me get out of all this stuff though, and the chart. Oh, this means 4-hour daily chart. Yeah, just careful. It's not even a careful thing because you're just looking for an opportunity to buy it at a lower price. This thing is already broken out above the 20-day moving average, and what you're seeing is it's trying to hold that support right now. In order to even get back down there, it's going to have to break down below the support here over the next 24 hours or so. And you could see this easily just start pumping back up over the next few days, back over here to 0.024 and then up to there 0.025. 0.025 seems more realistic, easily going to break above this. Everything after that is a long shot because, again, Bitcoin has to start breaking out above these heavier resistance levels if you want to see any of these altcoins really take off. The altcoins are primed. Like, a lot of these altcoins are primed and ready to go. If Bitcoin doesn't, turn on the rockets here over the next, 2-3 days, those altcoins will just turn to dust and people will be very sad about it. That's for sure. There you go. But you see how sideways Bitcoin went? It was just so depressing. The day the market stood still, that was a day the market stood still. And hey, what's that? Oh man, also, I talked about a few minutes ago, but there's stuff like ID token, Loom token. If you want something just nice and easy, XRP, something you could look at right there. ID token was one, but probably don't trade that because it popped off all of a sudden. I wasn't even aware of it. But yeah, those are a few right there for you. Loki, oh yeah, Loki's awesome. He's a big pup. He's you can see him walking around down here. He has a toy though. Loki, you'll see his head. There you go. He's here for lots of rubs, but he also wants to play fetch. We've been outside for most of the day. He should be fine. But as soon as I start streaming, he gets really needy. And he's like, he doesn't like me talking to you guys. So he brings me a toy or something up, and then he'll come over, then boom. No, I know it's kind of hard to bite, right? I know. And then he'll kind of roam off for a little bit. Then I'll bring it right back and be like, okay, I want to play again. Sheep and Doge setting up for a big run. They have both been so dormant that everybody's waiting for them just to have their parabolic rises, and it's going to be a waiting game for both those suckers. I'm not deterred by it, but it's definitely been a long time coming. I'm really excited to see what they do once, like after the halving, after Bitcoin starts reaching those all-time highs. They're going to really start going to some really crazy levels, and you're going to see those influencers of old, the ones that didn't get demolished by the 2022 bear market. You're going to see a lot of them coming back and talking about Dogecoin and stuff like that. It's been interesting to kind of see. There's been a lot of new streamers coming up, but as I've talked with a few friends who have been doing this for a while, it's very hard to survive a bear winter, like a crypto winter, if you're an influencer, because a lot of influencers only make their money from YouTube. They don't actually make much money from buying tokens or holding tokens, which is crazy if you ask me. And when the gravy train runs out, it runs out, right? So I think once the market starts getting more parabolic, you're going to see even more of them popping out. And I think we've had a decent amount come, some new ones perhaps. I'm kind of that weird person where I don't only stream. I put out tutorial videos and stuff like that because I enjoy those videos, frankly. And I don't just want to stream. It's just streaming is weird for me. Although I probably will be doing some more just relaxing videos where I just talk with you guys in front of the camera. I haven't had the opportunity the last few days. I've been watching other YouTubers and stuff to see what they do. A lot of YouTubers like to film themselves while driving, or they're being driven somewhere or something like that. I hate the sound of the road also in the background of a video, so I've just never done it, but I'm thinking of maybe doing it. But I think I just need to go I need to go to Best Buy and I need to buy a new gimbal because I lost a specific component to my gimbal, which breaks my heart, but the gimbals are not cheap. It's like a DJI Osmo 6, I think is what it's called. Yeah, it's like $150. Technically, I just won $150 gambling last night at the casino, but after I left the lounge, I took $75, plugged it in there, and I was like, "Ooh, look at that! I won a couple $100 in on some railroad game or something." And then I proceeded just to spend another $5 gambling. I just left. I was like, "I'm taking my money. I can spend it on something." Yeah, I know it's a critical thing. Can you check out for your sand? What are your thoughts on Sandbox? I have sand in here somewhere. Sand's always been interesting because I really fell in love with this technicals, like way back over here during the altcoin season. But this was in a totally different way compared to like how Bitcoin charts worked out. Like it had a massive crash over here like everybody else, but this one went parabolic like a few other ones during the metaverse craze, which was pretty interesting. Now, when you're looking at this, you're looking at a lot of volatility incoming just because of the 2 weekly moving averages. It doesn't mean anything bad's about to happen. It probably doesn't even mean too much about the overall price. It just means you're going to have a high and a very low here coming pretty soon. And that volatility is what you're going to be using to trade. At this point, just like a few other tokens that we were talking about, it's just now breaking above the 20-day moving average. You're looking at this to surge and hit those next levels of resistance. When I see something like sand, and we go back to the last time we've had these breakouts here, right? there are opportunities when it doesn't go your way and it eventually starts crumbling back down, and then there's a massive fake out. Typically, to try to get around that, you're just going to be moving up your stop loss, and that's what I would say you want to do right here. Now, this is not something crazy. So if you're buying right here after this change of character, your stop loss is probably somewhere around here, most likely. If it's, if it could be around here, it could even be the low of the day you want to, but typically it's like right around here. So as it makes these higher highs though, you want to be moving the stop loss up here to here to here. Now, traditionally with me, I probably would have still made a loss on this trade, unfortunately, just because I keep my stop loss here. And if it does start making this move, I move it up to here or here, not up here or up here, something crazy. So when it does eventually drop, I'm still at a loss, but I guess my initial stop loss is going to get messed up. And then, of course, you take the second chance here where everything is still green. So you got the buy. You got the there you go. You got the change of character right here. Typically, I'll be going after this change of character because this is a change of character as well from here to here. I don't know why it doesn't always do it, but for me, that matters a little bit more than the longer ones right here. And so you're going to be riding this up. But even if I take the opportunity right here or right here, that stop loss is going to be all the way down there, so I have to be expecting quite a bit of money. And of course, when it works out, it works out. You could even actually go up here, and you're typically just looking for the one level. Although I will say that in these scenarios, yeah, look at this. Oh, that one doesn't matter too much. The one level is not going to give you the most amount of profit, especially because you're technically buying it over the one level. So that means there's no way to really follow this one here just because of how low it was. Yeah, that's okay though. I'll say this then. You're basically just going to those levels of resistance on the side here. This one, a little bit of resistance you can scale out, or it can go all the way up here. I mean, honestly, look at that. Look at the crazy work that happened right here. So it hit, and it got smashed all the way back down. So that would have just hit any of your stop losses as it was grinding up anyway. But typically, moving that stop loss up is a nice little way to save you some money, save you some time, and save you some worry. I hate being worried here. But yeah, so I would have my stop loss, not even at the bottom right here, but somewhere down here on 43 cents. See where it goes. If it starts surging back up here to 46 cents, 47 cents, I really wouldn't move it all too much, honestly. You might want to move it from here to here. I don't know. I'd probably, if I'm buying right here, my stop loss might just be right there or right here. But if you're looking to hold on for a few weeks because Bitcoin's going to be maybe going on a nice little roll here pretty soon, then you obviously I just keep it right here. It's really depending on what you're thinking there. For me, because I'm me, I would probably keep it lower and then wait to see what happens. I'd risk losing a little bit here for an opportunity at a larger payout, but that is more risk. That is not as much fun. Let me go over here very fast. Yeah, right up here you got the 47. Afterwards you got a little bit up here around 50. I'd be risking it for not just the 47. I'd be risking it over here for the 50. Although I would say for sand, the 50 would come not within a day or 2 days. It'd be like a week-long type of event basically happening there. There you go. A lot of C-17 jets flying over here these days. Are you gonna bet on the Super Bowl? I don't know. Do you like casino food, like the buffets? So I only really go to one casino here. There's a few that I know about. My grandfather likes a few casinos himself. I typically don't gamble. I enjoy gambling, but I don't necessarily enjoy losing money. I think it's just a side effect of doing trading, right? So when I first start gambling, and I pop in $100, if I'm not winning immediately, I don't get mad or something like that, but I notice that I'm just not entertained, right? So as soon as I start winning, I'm pretty happy with it. But casino food, I don't know. So there's a place called Smoky Joe's that I go to quite a bit in Tacoma. Well, look, you gotta back up. You're too excited for whatever reason. I know. There you go. Oh my gosh, you're so needy. There you go. Okay. So there's a bar in Tacoma called Smoky Joe's. Fife. There you go. It's this little cigar lounge. It's nice. They got food from the casino below. But it's inside of a bingo place. So if I go over here and I go to BJ's Bingo, and I go right here. It's not really close to me, but it's close enough. All right. The heck? I'm so confused. I think that video was taken so long ago. Okay, that's what it really looks like. I don't know what the other one was when it was smaller. But basically, the lounge is this whole right-hand side section of the building. It's a really nice lounge. But they get all the casino food down below. And I have to say, the food is high quality. It's very good. The chicken strips are crispy. The fries are crispy. A drink costs about $9. You know, a shot of something with the soda, $9. That's really affordable for me. You know, I'm used to spend like $27 if I go out for a night in the town. So it's nice to have a normal $9 glass of, you know, Crown and Coke or whatever it is. I think if you want to put an extra dollar on it, you can get something like a little bit fancier drink or something like that. But typically, you know, Crown and Coke, a rum and Coke, old fashioned with a couple Luxardo cherries. Oh, my thing to do. Food. I mean, yeah, the chicken chip's good. Normally when I go in there, since I'm dieting right now, I'm trying to like stick to like 1,000 calorie to 1,500 calorie a day. So I get myself a bowl of berries, basically. Or I get myself a parfait if I have some extra calories that I need to fill in for my day. These alts I'm inquiring about are spot buys for me, which I'll hold while I think the peak of Bitcoin will be. Yeah, that's fair enough way to go about it. And usually, depending on the exchange, you're going to have many more opportunities to buy certain altcoins or different spot coins. It's what kind of makes it kind of weird. Like one of the things I noticed about Fairdesk here is they have a lot of a decent amount of altcoins to trade on futures, right? But if I go over here to spot, right, and I go over here to blah 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 right here, see the right hand side? That's all the coins I can do. That's all the tokens I can do right there. And there's not really a lot I can do with it. Like I don't need to dollar cost average Arbitrum, Sand, File, Atom, LDO, Chiliz, ARA, Ethereum Classic, Dot. They're not usually the stuff I'm going heavy into for long-term opportunities. You know, that's why even if you go over here to BYD-Fi and you go to spot trading, right? Different spot. A lot of opportunity, right? It's kind of the opposite. So they're kind of like a nice complement for each other. But what I like is, let me hide my head here very fast. Nope, nope. There you go. What I like is the ability to go over here and say, hey, I want to look at Web3 tokens. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at all those Web3 tokens. Oh, in fact, I want to find GameFi tokens. I want to go down the road of HK Concept tokens. I want to go down the road of DeFi or Gray or Polkadot NFT tokens. I can find them there pretty easy. But yeah, BYD-Fi has a really good spot there. Prediction of Riot long term. Riot's only going to go as high as Bitcoin will go, and that's going to be something for themselves as well here. So just like how Bitcoin's kind of going up today, you're going to see it kind of rise. At this point, it is having some trouble breaking out above what is like 22, 23. Actually, not even like $20 basically. I would say over the next few months, it's easily going to break above that. It will make all-time highs here as Bitcoin goes higher and higher and higher. My big concern is, are these companies going to be sharing liquidity basically, or you know, the people that want to invest in crypto? Are they going to be going into this, or are they more willing to be going into the spot Bitcoin ETFs like Grayscale or ARC21 and stuff like that? Logie, no, don't be jumping up there. Yeah, don't pout. He's been trying to jump on top of his kennel, and his kennel is like this high, so like it's a pretty high thing. He's been trying to jump on it for some reason. I don't know why. I think my sister has a teddy bear on top of it that she left. I think he's trying to chew the teddy bear out. But yeah, I think what you're going to be looking at is some of the stuff you saw back over here. I don't think we're hitting anything like this back over here around $4,000. I'm not entirely sure what the heck happened there. Like, go back over time a little bit. Right? See how we had this split right there, and you had this split right there. The market cap wise, though, I don't think we're going to get back over there. Those splits are a painful thing for any stock that's been around for a while that hasn't been making a bunch of profit. However, I could see us going back over here to $77 pretty easily. After that, it's really going to be how much further does Bitcoin go with the all-time highs and things, you know, of that nature. But you know, if you're thinking Bitcoin's gonna, you know, get all-time highs, it'll surpass 80 bucks. It might go close to $100 to $150. That's kind of where I would say. I just don't know how much money is going to be flowing into there versus what you're going to be looking at as far as the Bitcoin spot ETFs. I would say you're still going to see a good amount though. So again, you could see good profit. It's just going to be kind of, as long as their business is still sound, they should be fine for good profit though. Smokey Joe's looks chill as fuck. It's very good. It's really chill. Go back over here very fast. Now it's a little bit different as far as how it looks in this video versus where it is now. It's kind of like more modern a little bit. It's less loungy like, because I mean that would be pretty fun. But they got as many cigars as you guys would want. I usually bring my own cigars, but like the fact that you're allowed to bring your own cigars is really cool. They got food. Oh, I guess you don't see the menu there. They got spirits, all the good spirits you would want. They got cocktails and whatever. But you know, I'm gonna be there this Sunday for Super Bowl Sunday. They're gonna be so busy that they basically had to sell tickets for it, because typically on big game days, what you see happen there is there's so many people that they have to lock the doors so nobody else can get in, which means there's all these people just trying to wait outside for somebody to leave, which is so sad. So I went down there yesterday and bought myself a ticket, and I was like, you know what? It's 25 tickets. There's no more lounge chairs left in the entire place. I got myself a seat at the bar right in front of the big screen. So I would be happy with that. And the bar seats are really nice. They're like tall backs and everything, so not like hunched over like the Hunchback of Notre Dame or something like that. It's nice. Okay. Let me go back over here very quickly just to see what Bitcoin's doing. It seems like Bitcoin's still consolidating a little bit, but we are definitely hitting a little bit of a wall up here towards 45,500. I think one of you guys were talking about that just a few minutes ago, actually. Back up. Anything else popping off here? ID token a little bit, but that's because of what happened yesterday here. Well, let me just take a quick peek at ID token though, just because. Just look at that move. Somebody really just loaded up and was like, here we go. And I wonder if they're still trying to buy up more, because there's been a few dips since, but really not much. It's still making some pretty decent highs. So somebody specifically, for whatever reason, is trying to load up on this. And perhaps there may be an opportunity for people that want to buy for another surge that brings us back over here, maybe to 55, 57 cents. Not the greatest profits, because a lot of the profits already happened. But, you know, at least a little bit of a 2%, 3% profit. There could be something nice for people going forward. But I don't know. I want the you know 50, 60% profit that just happened. That's the dollar index. That's not what we're looking for. There we go. ADA. Yeah, even ADA is consolidating right now just because Bitcoin. So if we go over here, look at ADA, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's pretty much just been consolidating for a while. Nothing too crazy happening. And so I think you're seeing a lot of altcoins be like, okay, what do we do now? And this may be an opportunity to buy for quite a few of them as well. All right, let me put my little head back on here, and there we go. All right. Ford's been moving crazy. Ford's been moving a little bit better because they decided to stop making EVs. They weren't as efficient with it as, you know, like a Tesla or something like that. And, you know, they're getting rewarded for it. I have owned Ford for quite a bit of time since it crashed during COVID, because it was like so darn cheap. Weekly. Actually, we'll go over here, right? Earnings happen. That's the reason for the gap up. But weekly, I've owned it all the way since over here. I've been holding this for a while. I'm hoping they can do a turnaround. I've only done like maybe 2 scale outs of my position. The first one was all the way back over here. It was coming back down around $15, $14. And the next one was over here on $20. It ran up all the way to 26, and I did not sell. I probably should have, but now we're kind of consolidating a little bit back over here around $12, $13. And we'll see what happens next. They had some brutal negotiations with the unions that are going to hurt them pretty badly. But luckily, you know, I can show this. You can almost see a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder with a breakout happening, looking to bring it back up towards $14 for those that want to make maybe a day trade out of it or something similar to it. You definitely have been seeing some plays out there that have just been looking really good. But again, the stock market's on fire right now. There's no stopping it. It's just been annoyingly persistent. Should one rather buy altcoins once Bitcoin has popped up properly, or already start buying now? Typically for me, I'd like to buy them all throughout the bear market. So there are different ways to buy them because, you know, there are different tokens that come out during different times. There are tokens that have been around for a cycle or two. Then there's tokens that have never been around for the cycle. The ones that have been around for a cycle or two are usually a little bit more reliable, unless they've already been crashed through the ground. They burn, you know. If they would have been rugged, they would have been rugged. It's nice to kind of see that they weren't rugged. That type of effect, right? So when it comes to when you want to buy them, typically I start buying them after Bitcoin starts breaking down below the 100 weekly moving average. So let me just have this right here. Coinbase. Actually, you know what? Okay, let me go. I have Bitcoin on here somewhere else. That's just another Bitcoin. Let me just add it right here. BTC. And I want the Coinbase US dollar. There we go. All right. So of course that brought it all the way down here. Okay. Bitcoin 1, Bitcoin 2. Bitcoin 2, a lot more data. That's why we're looking at it. And we're looking at a 100. Let's just make this red, I guess. I don't know. And I need this to be a weekly chart. There we go. Okay. So typically, when I'm looking to buy altcoins is when we're down below this. Now, I never try to be like, oh yeah, Bitcoin just broke down below it, it's time to buy everything. It's usually a process of dollar cost averaging. There's a good side to it, there's a bad side to it. Sometimes we're only dipping down below it for a little bit, like with COVID. Sometimes we're for a few months or so. This is a monthly chart, by the way. And so usually when we get these types of cycles, I'm like, okay, whenever we get down below it, I'm going to start buying up different things. However, you're going to see that right here, May 1st, 2022 is when you could start buying this, okay? So May 1st, 2022 in this cycle. If I go over here to another altcoin, let's go over here to Ethereum starting off, okay? May 1st, 2022. May 1st, 2022. Nice and easy, same type of thing. You want to be buying it during that time. Ethereum only just actually started getting out of that system over the 100. Okay, that one's fine. Go over here to ADA. All that type of stuff. See how much further that altcoin had to run? A lot further, a lot more messy. Dogecoin. Not as much farther down. Something about Dogecoin, like maybe just this large support level we had over here. People did not want to sell this all the way through. I think there was a lot of weak hands that sold off, and stop losses are stop losses. If they hit, right? Right now you see Dogecoin looking to try to make a larger move if it can. But right there, it didn't have to that much further to move down. But during that entire time, you're just kind of loading up on those positions. AMP, obviously, because again, this one opened up a little bit later than other ones. So it wasn't around for a cycle, but doesn't mean you can't buy it. May 1st, 2022, it came down a lot more. Ape token. Yeah, it came down a lot. Arbitrum. This one's too new. Bonk too new. Crow, here's one. May 1st, right there. Came down a lot more. So usually when you have the opportunity, that's when I like to load up a lot more on the altcoins. But it's just kind of throughout that process. You can typically adjust this if you want to. I think of the 100 being very generous as far as the stop losses and whatnot. Some people will actually change it up to 150, not 1560. There you go. And it'll kind of lower the spot that you can go with it. I think this is fine as well. But, you know, you go over here to Ethereum, right? Right there. A little bit of resistance, stuff like that. ADA, still similar right there. Dogecoin, pretty similar. Similar. Nothing on Arbitrum. It's not enough stuff. BNB is probably a good example right here. that one didn't start breaking down until maybe here, right? So usually when you buy underneath it, you're in a decent spot. I like the 100. I don't mind buying too early because I just want to start buying. I want to get that habit down because for me, I got ADHD. I gotta have a habit. I really have to have a habit, and I don't like. I don't do auto buy this much of this token, auto buy this much. It's all me just doing it all by hand, and not manually. Let's just say that. But yeah, usually underneath the 150 moving average or the 100 weekly moving average, I will typically load up on altcoins during that. Once they start breaking out, it's still an opportunity to buy, but you're not going to get those crazy cheap prices where the market cap is like down below $1 billion, $500 million, and now they're in the billions of market cap. It's stuff like that. Like, what's one example here of something that I've been buying that you guys know that I've been buying? STMX. So STMX is something I've been buying for a long time. Now this is not gonna, or is this still at 150? Let me make this 100. All right, you can kind of see that if we kind of let this draw on, it fell down first over here, then over here, right? I'm happy to buy it over here. I'm happy to buy it over here, here. Oh, fine. Now we're starting to see a little bit of resistance, that type of stuff over there. I won't even call that resistance. It's kind of a cluster. But anyway, still loading up on it more and more and more. And all at the same time of May 2nd, I think it was, right over here. Same thing. I'm looking to buy it more and more and more over there. And we'll see what happens with it though, because probably just looking at a normal chart. Yeah, it's come down quite a bit. I'm hoping that it starts to come up quite a bit too. Hoping at least. There we go. See, and a circa buy or sell, depends on what you're looking at. Bitcoin right now, it already had the breakout. It's going to be heading up for levels of resistance. So this is kind of no man's land. This isn't typically where you buy or sell. The time you buy was on the breakout right here. And I don't know, how long did you guys have to buy the breakout? About 2 hours and 45 minutes. So it wasn't too forgiving, honestly. But yeah, that was the proper time to buy. If you're looking to buy right now, you're kind of in this middle zone between the breakout and the levels of resistance up here, and it means that your ratio isn't going to be the best. So you're risking a lot to earn a lot, or you're risking a little bit to earn a little bit. That's probably a better way to go right now, unless you're using some of the leverage. You got to stop whining. He's being a big old baby right now. What's the matter? Yeah, if I just give you taps on your butt and your back, you're fine to go. But yeah, so right now I'm not really buying anything. From as far as Bitcoin's concerned, altcoins, yeah, altcoins are at certain levels of resistance that look like they're about to blow. So I'm giving those an opportunity, but they all have stop losses in case Bitcoin decides to take a rejection here and goes even lower. Right now it just looks like Bitcoin's trying to consolidate, because again, it is hitting kind of that middle spot here. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing though. We don't want Bitcoin going up too fast, or we have those follow-up days where, like, Bitcoin goes up $2,000 and then next day Bitcoin falls down $2,000. You don't really want to have those days. Consolidation like this is going to be just fine. All right, let me go over here very fast. Anything down right now, really? Jupiter, the chart doesn't look too good. It looks like it's been coming down for a while. Oasis Network of Rose is down a little bit. CFX is down a little bit. Mostly, a lot of stuff is up. Optimism is down a little bit, but Optimism has been doing fine so long. Monero, I've been hearing influencers pump up Monero for some reason over the past few days. Does anybody know why so many influencers have been pumping this shit up? Because it looks like it crashed, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah." What do you call this is about to hit the moon now or something. I don't exactly know what happened here. We're gonna go over here to Twitter. Boop, 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 boop. Boop. Private untraceable cryptocurrency that keeps your money confidential, grassroots, open source. No, I don't see too much going on here. Sometimes I wish I could have a simple setup like this. I think it'd be really cool. Then I realized that, like, I have an actual camera, I have a different type of mic, I have a little bit of a light, I don't really like neon shit because Loki would probably chew the wire out if he could. And then there's like no comfortable seat. It's very weird. But like at the same time, like look at that. He only has one monitor. You know how nice that is? I got monitor, 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 and then on top of that, large keyboard with pads, Gorelxon mini stuff. But I kind of wish I could have a system like this every now and again. But look at all the cords. Luckily for me, I have extra rooms in the house, so I just turn one of the extra bedrooms into a little studio area. But I do want to have a better setup behind me. I used to do green screen, and I think a lot of influencers still do green screen. You know, I think it's fine. I think if you want to project yourself as being a very large individual on screen, green screen is the way to go because the background isn't going to be noticed at all. However, if you want to have something more of a set and you want to be able to go from frame to frame, like, you know, I go from here to like, you know, this one, you know, or to this one, which is just a different placement in my head. Or, you know, even this one right here, right? I want to have a nice background for me, but all I have right now is the TV, which I finally just fixed up because it was like it was rotating a little bit for whatever reason. But I'm not entirely sure. That TV is massive, but it has a really cool frame on it, whatever you call it, like attached to the wall, so I can move it really far up, angle it all crazy directions, front. You know, it was freaking expensive mount. Oh, mount, that's what it's called. Expensive mount, but it's worth it. Just like I used to have the entertainment center TV in the back, and when I was in the other room, now I want to see if I can do something with this one, but I just don't know. It's going to be too hard. Because Binance and other exchanges delisted XMR. Monero is a private token. Oh, thanks to the Real Transporter. I was wondering what was going on with it. I have not been following it at all. I wonder what happened then. I mean, I wonder why they did it. Maybe it's privacy. Oh, privacy is not a crime. Oh, okay. Monero will never compromise on privacy. Well, you're gonna have to compromise. I mean, you're gonna have to. That's just the way it kind of works in this world. Governments control everything. So they're delisting Ant, Multi, Vi, and then XMR is the bottom one right there. Yeah. That's a shame. Monero is one of the best cryptos. Then Binance customer support responded saying, "Hi there. At Binance, we periodically review each digital asset we list to ensure that it continues to meet the high level of standards we expect. When a coin or token no longer meets the standard with the industry changes, we conduct a more in-depth review and potentially delist it. We believe that this is the best this best protects all of our users." For more details, take a look here. Honestly, you want to know what happened here, and this is just if you want to know. Ever since not Do-Kwon. What's the guy? I'm thinking about to say Xi Jinping, but it's not him. Ever since Binance was kind of semi taken over by American government, let's say that, they have a lot more power over what is allowed on Binance and what is not allowed on Binance. Now, they're not going to be going crazy and abusing this power left and right because, you know, then people really just leave Binance and they go find something different, and that something different is not going to be something that the American government has power over. Or let's not say like ultimate power, but it's we have a large amount of influence. Like the type of influence that America has over Israel. That type of influence, or you know, France has over one of its former colonies or something. You know, that type of influence is what we're dealing with here. And I bet that privacy was probably something the government's like, okay, well, we need to see more about that token then, you know, and it wasn't working out. I bet they were being a little overzealous. The government was, just because it's a larger name. I don't think the government really cares about the smaller tokens, to be honest, because I don't think they have enough people to go dig into the dirt and kind of examine everything about it. But when it comes to something that's a little bit more notable, a little bit larger, something that says privacy, the government doesn't like privacy. They want to peek. They want to, oh, what's in there, you know? That's the government's job, basically. It's their self-appointed mandate is to snoop around. It's being used to move large amounts of funds. Yeah, that's exactly what Dude, what's the guy's name? That used to run Binance. I keep on forgetting his name, but that's basically why he got in so much trouble, because Binance was being used to move money around, and unfortunately, that's going to be a big sticking point for a lot of governments out there. Now, I think in the long run, Monero is going to survive. There's no like danger of the tokens going to zero or something like that. But if it's not on major exchanges and the government kind of puts a little bit of a taps the brakes on a little bit, you probably will see it get damaged more when it comes to altcoin season and stuff like that. It'll still have a pop. It'll probably still have a great rally, but not as good of a rally as it could have had if it was actually accessible to trade with large quantities on Binance. Hey, Critical Thinker, if Bitcoin drops, it'd probably just be down to 36,000, 35,000 at the worst. If you really want to get like crazy, you can say 30,000, 32,000, something like that. But to me, I'm not expecting some type of massive like flash crash or something like that. It's more of just an opportunity to load up on a lot more altcoins. But so far, I've been wrong about it, because we had the first initial drop and I was like, okay, now we're starting to see it. And no, just like before, we have our strong rebound and then we're just kind of off to the races again. This time we're close to making another high, but we're not there yet. We still have a few $1,000s for Bitcoin to go, but you're seeing those levels of resistance there. So I'm going to be curious to see how much more Bitcoin can do over the next 2 to 3 days, and really what it can do this week. If Bitcoin can hold strong this week and continue to move higher and higher and higher, that's great. If not, we'll go back to that sideways setting. Because right now, even with this boom, if you zoom out the chart to look back at what Bitcoin's been doing for the last, like couple months, 3 months now, it's been sideways. There's been some fun times and some bad times, but it's pretty much been sideways. And that's okay, because those consolidations usually lead to some really great results after the breakout comes about. We really haven't had that large breakout yet, but we had a breakdown, and that breakdown didn't do squat. So, maybe the large breakout will just, any breakout will become a larger breakout. CZ Zhao, thank you guys. CZ, there you go. Do I think Bitcoin will reach 100K this year? For me, it's always hard to say by year, but it should reach $100,000 by this cycle all-time highs. Yes, easily. Just because of all the new institutional money flowing in there, everybody getting more excited about it, and the fact that the economy seems to be kind of rumbling on. Not great. From an economic standpoint, it's great. From a person-to-person standpoint, it's kind of shitty because prices are so freaking sky high. However, if people feel like they have enough money to go spend on whatever, trips to Vegas, fun times in California, Texas, fun times in Florida, whatever, I think that means that you'll see a lot of people have money to dump into cryptocurrencies and to watch the market go up higher and higher and higher. My only worry is that we go into some type of recession before that happens, or there's some type of bad economic data, stuff like that. Really, really concerns me. That's why I'm very closely watching what happens with inflation data over the next few months. Inflation is ticking back up, and I really don't want to see that happen, because if inflation continues to tick back up, eventually there's going to be something of like a flash type of crash event. Not like other than one day, but we're going to have like 2 to 3 weeks where we're just kind of like boom, boom, boom coming down. Not the end of the world, but it's just not going to be pleasant for a lot of people that want to see Bitcoin go up faster. And that's just because rates are going to be very interesting, where Jerome Powell is going to be like, no rate cuts, because inflation's ticking back up. The worst thing that can happen to Jerome Powell from a credibility standpoint right now is that he cuts rates and inflation goes up. That would be terrible. Absolutely terrible, because then all of a sudden he'd be blamed for inflation going back up, rightfully or wrongfully. And then we got an election season coming up. That's going to be complete chaos. I think I was on YouTube earlier looking for some news about Panama for moving there, and I think a CBS clip. Yeah, it was CBS. I saw a CBS live stream about the Supreme Court talk going on with him, and so it's already going to be a very Loki. It's already going to be a chaotic time. Sorry, what do you call it? The light just started falling down towards me. It hit my monitor, which is fine, but like my eyes open bright every time I see that thing fall down close to me. I'm looking for some dip buys if we reach those levels. That's why I'm asking. Yeah, it's going to be around 36, 35,000 if you ask me. I'm just hoping it comes, because I don't want to buy Bitcoin at these prices. I want to buy altcoins at cheaper prices. But altcoins look ready and primed to go. Bitcoin is kind of iffy still, but at least right now it's on the move, right? Yeah, I'm looking. Oh, yeah, there we go. Would I ever do a meetup for channel members? I could possibly do one of them. Maybe I could do one in Vegas or something. That way it could be like a whole type of day type of event. Not entirely sure when then. Maybe sometime from when I'm before I go to Panama. My big thing is ever since my mom passed away, I haven't had an opportunity to have somebody really watch Loki. So I don't go on vacations all too much. When I go on vacations, I have 3 opportunities these days. When my sister's home for spring break, that's in March, and I'm taking my sister and Loki out to the beach, so she can she can have fun and relax a little bit. She's a college kid, just like when I was a college kid. They don't have money. I was making it $8 an hour. Summertime, I thought I was going to have opportunities then, but my sister said, "Hey, I'm a freshman and I'm going to go into an internship." That's kind of fun too. So now I don't really have any opportunities there. And then December. And December is already booked out for Panama. So what I'm going to try to do, maybe this summer I can do it or something like that. If my sister's not here for a while or something like that, I can just say, hey, maybe in September or August, some of the hottest times in Vegas, I'll just say, hey, can you watch Loki for this time or something like that? And I can probably try to do one event. For those that live in Seattle area, Tacoma area, it's not as difficult to do meetups because I typically go to events in Seattle about cryptocurrency. Like there's this company called TF Labs. TF Labs, that's what it's called. There's my tea. Talking about tea. Let me see if I can find this. Okay. So there it is. They have these events pretty much where people come around, they talk. Sometimes they're really large, sometimes they're small. I have anxiety around large groups of people, and so I typically will go to the smaller events. But if I go over here and I go to upcoming events, they got one March 20 of 2024. I'll be there. There's only 31 people there. There's going to be the SVP of Wholesale and Innovation at T-Mobile. I met him a couple times. There's going to be York Rhodes III, Director of Digital Transformation Blockchain from Microsoft, and then Kurt something, U.S. Blockchain from Market Executive, from IBM. Right? March 5th, 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Right, there's the address of that. So that, there's things like that. But as far as me, people like from around the country, it'd probably be a Vegas trip. And it'd probably be a meetup on Fremont Street where we can chill and hang out and talk, and then just I don't know, whatever. It doesn't have to be fancy. But let's see. There's Binance workers that go there. I don't know. It's a pretty chill place. I haven't been to one of these. I haven't been to a large event with them in a long time though. I don't like large events, to be frank. And sometimes I go to expos and stuff, but expos are like living, breathing things where everybody's moving and hustling and bustling, and nobody's stagnantly staying where they are. I can't stand stagnation when it comes to large groups. It freaks me out. Blog maybe? I don't know. Yeah, see, there I am right there in that bottom left-hand corner at the last event. That was January 26th. What's in store for 2024? Lots of cool people there. You got hedge fund managers, millionaires in tech. You got people that are just your coders, whatever. You got people like me that are influencers. You got a lot of people there, and it's just nice to kind of meet them and stuff like that. I missed this event right here. This is a Christmas event. I was chilling. I don't know what I was doing. Am I in any of these other ones? I don't know. No, am I in one of these? Nope. But you got people of all styles. Go keep going down. No. I typically don't like to take pictures, so I'm kind of away. Because these events are free, but typically there's me right there in the summer. Okay. But typically what happens is I donate money to these things because I do like seeing people come together to talk about cryptocurrency and blockchain. There's only really 2 things I donate to in my life. One is I donate for a crypto event hoster type of thing, and I also donate money to a white German Shepherd resource center for dogs that get abandoned and stuff like that. That's basically all I ever do. Maybe I round up a Taco Bell bill or something like that every now and again, but when's the last time I've been to Taco Bell? But typically when I do that, he always says, "Thank you, Michael, for your donation." I hate that. I absolutely hate that. I want to be the silent donor that I want to be the silent donor. I don't want my name mentioned when people are talking about stuff. It irks me. Not in a like not in a like a bad way, like, "Oh dude, I'm so mad you talked about me." It's just more like people's eyes don't stare at me, which is weird because I'm doing this and people's eyes are staring at me, but at the same time I'm looking at a camera. I'm not looking at people. There's a huge difference there. One lens, one eye, whatever you want to call it, versus like a crowd of people. I don't like it. But yeah, a Vegas meetup, I could possibly do that. It's really just like when is my sister going to have free time during her internship this summer, if she even has an internship at all. She applied for it, but she's not sure if she's going to get it or not because she's a freshman. But I'm always down for a Vegas trip. I went for a whole week in December. It was awesome. We can gamble together. We can say hi. That doesn't matter. We don't gamble together. I would say I will go and we can smoke some cigars with some people, go to a lounge or something like that. But yeah, stuff like that. I'd be totally down with that. Head and shoulders on Bitcoin for what time frame is what you're going to be looking for here? It's not going to be on the weekly chart, daily chart. There was this head and shoulders over here, but that was kind of an inverse one. I don't even know if it was even a shoulder over here, but you can kind of think of it as that. But the breakout happened on nonetheless. 4-hour chart. Nothing over there. It kind of depends on the time frame you're looking at, I guess. Maybe on the 15-minute chart could be something. There's a shoulder, a head forming where there's no other shoulder yet, so you might not know. So you're really going to be looking to see what happens. It'll probably bounce off of the 200, yeah. 200 on the 5. And if you're thinking of a head and shoulders, that could definitely be a plan there. Looks like you had a double top right here. That was a nice little play. Look at that. Beautifully done. Retested it right there. Came back down. Coming back up now. Made a new relative high. Now breaking down a little bit, but there's no easy pattern to see. I would actually expect this to kind of pop off a little bit before making a larger move if it's going to make it. We'll see. See, when EU meetup, what do you call? I could possibly do that. I just don't know. For me, it's like I always like to travel. I'm going to Panama for a whole freaking week, right? It's more of just like Loki getting here. Loki, come here. He's already whining. It's if you want to get scratches, you got to come up. Yeah. So it's always when am I free when it comes to Loki? Because I don't want him to be at a boarding place. I prefer if my sister's watching him and stuff because Loki, because he's not fixed, he can't actually play with other dogs at those facilities. So he'll be like pretty much alone for like the whole time. He can have outdoor time and playtime, don't get me wrong, even swimming time. I found that out. But he can't just go out and play with other dogs because he's not fixed. So I'm just like, okay, well that's fine. So I'm usually looking for somebody to take care of him. But as soon as I know what my sister's doing, I can probably do a lot of trips this summer. But even in Europe, I don't know. Would it be in England? Would it be in France? Would it be in Germany? I honestly don't know. Because I'm a bigger guy. I usually fly first class, so it really depends on I guess maybe over there it's the same thing as like flying international business class. Because I don't need to lay down seat like that. I just want a nice, comfortable spot and free alcohol. That's typically what I'm looking for on a flight. Free alcohol makes my life so much easier. Puts me to sleep, fall asleep. Hopefully I'm not snoring, and then we're good to go. But yeah. I'm not opposed to a European trip either. Asian trip, that's where things get a little more difficult. That's a long flight, and I don't like long flights like that. Fremont Street in Vegas sounds dope. Yeah, it's growing on me a lot. I guess pricing out isn't the right word, but like for me, I've noticed that over the past year or something, I've been to Vegas a few times, past couple of years, and it feels like the Strip is pricing a lot of people out from having a great time at Vegas. And what do I mean by that is like you can still go down to the strip. You could have a good time. You could go gamble a little bit or do some of this stuff. Go get some good food. If I want high quality food that I know is just gonna be like a 10 out of 10, I will go on the strip. Go to Prime Steakhouse. You name it. I've been to it. Hakkasan, whatever. They're good. They're good. However, I've noticed that you're not seeing as many gamblers playing the table games as much as they used to do it because the minimums have gone up so much. So if I'm playing a $50 minimum table for craps or blackjack or any other game, roulette or something, I'm noticing that a lot of people will go there, but they only play for a few minutes and then they leave because they pretty much ran out of their budget. And so I've been going over to Fremont Street a lot more because I don't like to gamble alone. Can you imagine playing craps alone, roulette alone, maybe blackjack alone? Actually, that's not too bad. But other stuff alone, I don't primarily like it all too much because Vegas is a vibe. That's what it is. So I'll go over to Circa or Golden Nugget or any other places. I forget what the names of them are. But yeah, I'll go over there. And I'll just start playing up table games, and you'll see a crowd of people around a table having a blast, having a good time. I don't necessarily care about how much I win, but the table minimum is like $15 or $10. The table maximum is like $500. So if I want to bet $100 at a time or $200 at a time, and I want to go crazy for me because I don't normally go too heavy with gambling. If I do want to go crazy, I can do it. And I've done it a few times, and it's been really fun, even though I've lost. That's what made this last trip to Vegas so much fun, because I actually walked away with a profit, which never happens. But anyway, you can have a good time, relax, whatever. But yeah, Fremont Street, it's definitely been growing on me quite a bit. Then the night scene over there is definitely good. I stopped over at the Fountain Blue, whatever the fuck's called, the new hotel. I did not like it all too much. The food was pretty good. It was a little bit small, but it was good. It was good. I would say I liked it a lot. Expensive, but it's the Fountain Blue, whatever you call it. But the parking situation there was god awful. I hated it so much. My Uber driver hated it so much. I had to get my and I had a freaking private driver that night. I didn't even do Uber. He was not happy with it, so I just told him to pick me up at the front because it was annoying. Because I was like, okay, you can pick me up in the garage, because I just naturally walked down there because I'm like, okay, garage is where the Uber pickups are. I don't mind getting picked up down here. I was checking out the air because it's my first time. And he was like, dude, I don't know how to get down there. And I was like, oh, no worries. She tried for like 10 minutes, and I got angry with the time situation. I was like, I'm out. But yeah, and so many of these new places, I don't know, they're just not hitting the vibe. Mandalay Bay was pretty fun. It was the far side of the strip. I like that one. MGM, I'm losing my happiness with MGM as far as staying at the rooms. Although the hotels, the casino's fine. Anything else that I've never stayed at the Luxor. I've never stayed at the. But I've been inside of it, I think, once when I was younger, like when I was like 21, I think. Aria is very nice. Before my mom passed, I took her there in July. She absolutely loved it. Bellagio's nice. I don't like the hotel too much, but I like how they have that cool setup there for every season. That's amazing. Cosmopolitan is growing on me personally, but that's just because they have great happy hour, so you get a lot of good drinks for really cheap prices, and I love getting drunk in Vegas. I really do. Not like hammered drunk, but like there's that buzz where you're like, oh yeah, life was good, Because I take a lot of my success for granted. So I work every day, even though I really don't have to. I'm kind of always grinding away because I never want to be poor again. And so when I'm buzzed in Vegas, not buzzed anywhere else, buzzed in Vegas, I'm like, oh wow, life is actually good, because you're getting all that glitz and glamour, and my poor ADHD brain, which is very has been oversensitized throughout my life. Just too much stuff going on. It's so much sensitizing. It levels out the like, oh wow, things are actually pretty good in your life, right? And that's why I go into Vegas a lot. But primarily Fremont Street is growing on me, just because that vibe, that whoosh, it feels good. All right. Okay, buddy, I'm going to end this stream right here. I got to go take Loki out to use the bathroom. He's like really letting me know he has to go. And he's the type of dog that will go after a certain amount of warnings. So he's over here somewhere. Loki. Oh, he walked all the way over here. Okay, well, you surprised me. Good boy. But I'll try to stream a little bit later. Looks like Bitcoin's kind of been dying down since we've been talking. Not like in a bad way. This is a 15-minute chart. Just kind of going through the consolidation phase. Afterwards, we'll see how much further it wants to go. But yeah, I'll keep that in mind about the 2 different types of events I can try to make it this year. Las Vegas one is much easier. When the Europe one, I don't even know how many people would show up to it. But these events would not be events as so much like, hey, I am going to be here on this day. If you would like to say hi to me, come on. I can hang out all day, hours, a few minutes. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I'll write that in my notes, okay? So I'll see you guys a little bit later. Thank you guys so much for watching. And again, Bitcoin's doing well. We're in the second day of a breakout. We should see this day finish up here over the next couple of hours. Afterwards, we should see another push here. That push hopefully will take us up above $46,000, $47,000. That's where the real test for Bitcoin begins.